Okay, so welcome to our 12th session. So today we'll be discussing about who is pulling my string. So, but before that, the microphone audio is low. Is audio very low? Hare Krishna. Is audio low? Vishwarup Prabhu is saying it's low.
For me, it's okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Vishwarup Prabhu, can you type quickly whether it is okay or okay? Chidanandam Prabhu says good. We can hear. Good for me. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's get started. Let's offer our humble obeisances to Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, welcome all of you. Week after week after week, finally we reached to the 12th session, and we started with some number, and if you see our numbers are getting filtered, screened, and finally our very fortunate soul who are here. So we would like to congratulate all of them to stick to that, and definitely when we hear the message of Bhagavad Gita and have a desire to serve the Lord, definitely it will actually bring the transformation in our heart. There is no doubt about that. And you all are fortunate soul that who had despite the challenges and temptations outside, that would like to take away the dedications and the focus, but you are still continued with that. So would like to congratulate and thanks for all of you. So today we are going to discuss about who is pulling my strings. Before that, let's have some quick recap. We discussed long ago, 10, 12 weeks ago, the Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita? Success formulas. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. Then the root cause of all suffering is attachment to this temporary body. And the art of work, we discussed that we have no choice to be idle, or we have no choice to do some good work or bad work. We have to be we have to continue the work in a mood of inaction. So then we discussed that how Arjuna was actually asking the question, what is that actually forcing him to do some bad work? And that we know that it was nothing but the lust. In the next session we discuss about, do I need a guide? What is the knowledge? We discussed the shloka from Chanakya Pandit. He says knowledge means character and the sense control. But sense control is very difficult. We have option only before the action, not during the action. But even that, sometimes our attitude stops us from taking the guidance. Great people seek a guidance, just like Arjuna. We saw that Arjuna Arjuna also Vishwajit Prabhu is still saying that the voice is audio is low. Maybe you can check at your end, because the other participants and devotees are saying it is good. So maybe you can check, Prabhu, at your end. What about others? What about others? Can you just quickly type one or two? Yes, good, good. Okay, good for me. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So then we discussed even the person like Arjuna, and that too 5,000 years ago, he actually sought the guidance from Lord Sri Krishna. So we stand no chance. We must seek the guidance. And then we discussed that what is the mood of approaching guide. And we saw that the shloka from Bhagavad Gita 4.30 or Tadvidhi 34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. We must approach these people, the who has seen the truth, and what should be the mood? In a humble mood, and pariprashnena sevaya, serving them and asking the question in a very humble mood. And of course, there are some people who might be exploiting, but we should be very careful. And then we saw the qualities of the real sadhu. Titikshasva karunika srudam sarvabhutanam sarvadehinam ajata shatraho shanto sadhu bhushan sadhava sadhu bhushanam. That is the qualities of the real sadhu. That titikshasva, tolerant, karunika, very merciful, friend of all the living entities. Ajata shatru, has no shatru, no enemies. And Ajata Shatru, Shantava, very peaceful, who actually lives or abides by the scripture, and he's decorated with such a quality, Sadhava. And that is the sadhu, qualities of the sadhus. And previous week we discussed about Ramayana, but the previous 2 weeks, before 2 weeks that, we discussed about the mind control and the regulated lifestyle. The power of mind, we saw the mind is very powerful, but if we control it, it's the best friend, otherwise the worst enemy. Mind works very hard, it wants us to make happy, but something is wrong, still we are not happy. So what is that? So actually we saw that how we takes the wrong goals and it learns, but actually it sets the goal from the wrong perspective. Then we saw that the hierarchy between the indriyani paranya or indriyope paramana manastu parabuddhi e buddhi paratastu saha. And then how we saw that how the mind works, how to control the mind, and we saw the practice and detachment, abhyasena kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. And we saw the practical tip about the eating the frog. Train the mind gradually, not in a in a drastic change. Practice make the changes in a very baby step. And today we are going to see, am I in control of all that I do? Who is the actual doer? If I am not in control, then who is the actual doer? If I am not the actual doer, then why should I be responsible for my actions, right? Very obvious question. Then what are the modes of nature, and how to get along with the people with the different modes and getting free from the modes of material nature? And of course, the practical tip of the day that makes our life happy. Before that, we now, as Krishna is very merciful, he gives us opportunity after the opportunity so that we can come to him, engage in his service. So as Vaishnava, we celebrate a month called as a Damodar month, which actually starts from the Purnima, which started from the 30th and 31st, that is yesterday and day before yesterday, until the next Purnima that comes. And this month is actually celebrated among the Vaishnavas as called as a Kartika month. Some of the lunar calendars you will see from the Deepavali day, it starts the Kartika, but in Vaishnava, particularly this month, is celebrated as a Kartika from this Purnima. So this whole month is again like the Purushottam month, which was Adhik Mas, this Purushottam Mas. This month is called as a Kartika Mas, Damodar Mas. Very, very, very auspicious, very auspicious. So we'll discuss some glories. And of course, now we are going to sing Damodar Ashtakam during this whole month, Damodar Ashtakam, because this whole month is about Leela of Lord Krishna and Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna at his belly, called as a Dama and Udara. Dama means a rope, Udara means belly. So Lord Krishna, who was bound by Mother Yashoda, that's called Damodar. So today we will be again having Damodar Ashtakam, live Damodar Ashtakam. And if you if you are ready, you can actually offer the lamp, and then we will actually end with that. So the question comes, who is the doer? Okay, so have you ever wondered the oscillations? Sometimes we are very happy, suddenly the mood actually changes from good to bad mood. Suddenly in office or in our wherever we are working, we are highly productive, and sometime later the same product efficiencies or the productivity actually drops down. Sometimes our enthusiasm is top of the world, and next time we are very lethargic, procrastinating. So these oscillations, why these oscillations happened? And you know what? The same person, that I am the same person or you are the same person with the same competency, same expertise, same qualification, same attributes, but the results are different on a different time scale. So the question comes, why are we not able to perform the same way always, very consistently? For example, if you have to give an example of some sports, and imagine one batsman, sometimes he makes 100 run century, or he gets out for a duck. So this kind of fluctuations is what we actually observe in our life. Everything is same in our life, same person, same thing, same qualification, same attributes, but the result is not the same. So even Arjuna also had a similar condition. During the war, he could actually kill and defeat all the Rathis and Maharathis. But the same Arjuna, after the war and after the departure of Lord Sri Krishna, he was actually defeated while safeguarding the Krishna's wife, the queens. The same Arjuna, the superhero, was actually defeated by ordinary personalities or the cowherd boys. The superhero getting the defeated, it's very difficult to digest. So the question comes, why that happens? In this Srimad Bhagavatam, Arjuna is actually saying, I have the same Gandiva bow, the same arrow, the same chariot, by the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I use them as the same Arjuna to whom all the kings offered their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Sri Krishna, all of them at moment's notice have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with the magic wand, or sowing the seed on the barren land. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 115, chapter, sloka number 21. So if our intelligence, just like Arjuna is saying, he has the same thing, knowledge, physical strength, etc., can be present or absent. Sometimes we can do wonders. Sometimes it could be absolutely a failure. The question comes, am I in a control? So let's launch our first poll for today. Am I in a control? How many of you have experienced this kind of situation in a life? Yes, no are the answer. Not always. Yes, that is true. Some Prabhu tried that it is not always. Okay. So few more seconds and then we'll pause it here for this poll. For others who have not voted here, please go ahead and do that. Just a quick one here. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay. And we can see that 68% of the people says that yes, and that is what the experience that we are seeing, that are we in control? Yes. So sometimes we are able to control, sometimes we are not able to. That means we are fluctuating. So if we are fluctuating in our result, so who is pulling my strings? That's a very obvious question would actually come. Let's see very famous, beautiful shloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, shloka number 27. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणाहि कर्मणि सर्वशा अहंकार विमूढात्मः कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of the false ego, thinks himself the doer of the activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Prakriti kriya manani, gunahi karmani sarvasha, all the activities. But ahankara vimudato, when we are bewildered by the ahankara, what we think? Karta ham, I am the doer, iti manyati, he think, or I think, or we think that karta ham, I am the doer, but actually all these activities are done by the three modes of material nature. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this third chapter, he says that all actions are performed by the modes of material nature. So sometimes human beings can do something, demigods can do something, but ultimately it is sanctioned by the Lord. So then what happens? It's like that we are borrowing that power from God and nature. Even lifting of hand is done by the nature. Because if we have to lift, that means this action is done by the modes of material nature. There was a very famous boxer, or I don't know, Muhammad or something. He was a world champion, but towards the end of his life, he was not able to even lift a cup of water or the glass of water, because whatever the power that he had, it was actually withdrawn. So that means the power that we borrow from God or nature, it is not our power, but it is a power borrowed by the law from the Lord. So one should not, or we should not be puffed up by this. There is a proverb in English are saying is that we should not be puffed up by the borrowed plumes. So we should be very grateful to that we are able to do that today. One of my colleague in office, he had a lower back, and then he did surgery one time, two times, and three times. And just a couple of weeks ago, he was actually sharing with me that very simple things he said, but it was so profound and deep by experience. We learn by experience. He said that whatever is natural is natural. Once you touch it, it loses all its competencies or the power to perform, to execute. So because once we touch with this, whatever the natural that we have received from the mercy of the Supreme Lord, or by the nature, whatever we want to call, but if it is withdrawn, we just cannot do the activity what we were supposed to do earlier. So there was one story. We should be very grateful actually. Sometimes what happened, once the story goes, one person from the terrace, he was throwing some valuables, and all the peoples were taking the valuables from the ground floor or catching up or receiving, but they were not at all acknowledging. And this person was actually wondering why so. So he went to one saintly person, sadhu, and he said that when I'm doing so many things and I'm throwing the people all the wonderful things, but nobody even looks up at me and even say thanks, or not even acknowledging that, what shall I do that? Then the sadhu suggested, of course, the story is for the purpose of learning something. So he suggested, so tomorrow don't go and do similar things. The sadhu suggested to go and throw the stones from the top. And then the people who is up there, then they will start, oh, who is up there? They will start looking at up. And then they will start throwing the stones up. So till that, when everything was actually going, they were so busy collecting the things that were actually getting. But the moment it stopped, and then they started looking at me, oh my God, what's happened now? So good things when I'm able to do, we have to give the credit to God. But what about the bad things? Why I'm not responsible for that? Let me tell you one example. There was a tennis champion, Arthur Ashes, in 1980s, and he was um, contracted by a terminating disease, because of he was actually went through the heart disease, and while doing that heart disease, and then because of the blood fusion or whatever has happened, then he was actually contracted with the terminating disease, and all his followers all over the world wide, they said, why only you? And what he said was so beautiful. He said there are 50 million people all over the world who actually would like to play tennis. There are only 500,000 people can actually go to the coach and actually learn from them. 50,000 come to the, or 5,000 come to the Grand Slam. Out of that, only few hundreds actually come to the next round. And finally, when it reaches to the only 50 people, and then finally semi-final has only 4 people, and final there is 2 people, and wins that Wimbledon or Open, Australian Open or US Open. So he said, when I had opened that trophy or the Wimbledon, that time I did not ask God why me. But when I got actually contracted with this disease, I cannot ask God why me. So when the good things comes, we actually takes the credit. But when the bad things comes, so the story here is important, that why me. But actually, when it comes to the good things or the bad things, we should be grateful to that what we are able to do that. So very beautiful photos or the picture from Bhagavad Gita. So it looks like that the people are there and they are pulled by the 3 ropes, the 3 different gunas. There is nothing that I can do without the help of material nature. Prakriti kriya manani gunahi karmani sarvasha. So there is nothing that I can do without the help of material nature. Now the question may come, oh, I was thinking that I am the doer. But now here it appears that the activities are done by the material nature. If activities are done by the material nature, then what is my role in it? Very, very obvious question that would come here is that what is my was it a Rafael Nadal? No, it was Arthur Ashes, Arthur Ashes, 1980s, and he actually got, and I think he left his body in 1983 or 1993 rather. So the question comes, what is my role in any action? If all the activities are done by the Prakriti or the material nature. Now here it comes beautiful things. You are not the doer, but you are responsible for your action. Unfair, right? Now suppose all the activities are done by the material nature, then why I should be responsible for the action that I am doing? Now if we commit a murder, for God's sake we don't, but and we taken to the court, and when judge ask, and you can say, you know what, Bhagavad Gita, I learned one shloka 3.27, Prakriti kriya manani gunahi karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Actually, I am not the doer. The doer is the material nature. You go and catch the material nature. I am not responsible for this. What will happen? The court will say that put him behind the bar. So it appears that we are held responsible, but we are not doing it. So we are not the doer. What is the logic behind this? What is the science of karma here? Because we discussed the whole topic about the karma. Now here we are talking about that we are not responsible. Something seems to be very illogical here. It is all scriptural or sentimental. Now the question comes, you are talking about karma, now you are talking about prakriti. What's happening here? Can they go together hand in hand, prakriti and karma? Let us see. A beautiful shloka from Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, shloka number 14. Maybe for a change, can we have some participant here to read the shloka? Can we unmute them? Not to create chaos here, but just one person quickly and read the shloka here. Is it possible?
Just Prabhu, let me unmute. Yeah, it's allowed, Prabhu.
Yes. Any one devotees?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Anybody would like to read the shloka and translation quickly? Yes, Nilima. We don't want to waste time, but just wanted to make some different change so that we have now participants also less. Of course, we are.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता कारणं च पृथग्विधं विविधश्च पृथक् चेष्ट Daivam Chaivatra Paschamam.
Panchamam.
Paschamam. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. Thank you,
So
Prabhuji.
thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is saying that we are not the only one who are the doer, or one, we are one of the 5 factors who is responsible for any actions. So what are those 5 factors? Krishna says here that Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. Panchamam is 5. So the body, the performer. Who is the performer? The soul. The various senses, the body and all things. Different kinds of endeavor that we do. And ultimately, Daivam, the super soul. These are the 5 factor of action that we do. So that means whenever we are doing any activities, all these 5 factors should be there. So material nature functions very seamlessly here, and not like any other things, but it's so subtly and so swiftly and so seamlessly all things works. So let us see very a different triangle, and which can actually help us to understand that now the actions are sanctioned by the Lord. The actions are actually executed by Prakritis. Then what is my role here? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5:14, he says that the embodied spirit master of the city of his body does not create activity, nor does he induce the people to work, nor does he create the fruits of action. This is all enacted by the modes of material nature. So as a soul or Atma, we desire that. And when we desire that, Paramatma or the super soul witnesses and he sanctions that. And when it sanctions, the material nature, the Prakriti actually get executed through that. You see that the triangular, the interactions between the soul, Paramatma, and the material nature. So it's so because now the question comes, it appears like that, oh, I'm only desiring. Actually, it is the sanction by Lord. It is executed by material nature. Then why I should be responsible for my activity? The answer lies, it's very simple, because we desire that. As a living entity, we desire that, and then the whole other actions, the subsequent actions are executed because we initiated that, we desire that. And when, since we are the desirer of that, we take the responsibility of that. So it is said that man proposes, God disposes. So until maybe you can mute other participants. So when unless and until we desire, Lord will not sanction that. So we desire, since we desire, we take the responsibility. Now the question may come, yeah, very well, then I can desire that I become a millionaire overnight. Right? Well, we desire, but we should also have a credit. Because if I say I want a big car, no, and I want to be millionaire, but if I don't have the enough credit, I cannot even Lord will not sanction that. So that means it appears to be very simple but complicated, but we can understand the principle that we desire it based on our credit, we actually get the result on that. But we as an individual first desire that, and since we desire it, we become responsible for the subsequent actions. So Paramatma become the sanctioner, and a material nature become the executor of all those activities. It's complicated, right? And one of the, as we saw that Daivam Pancham, so the 5th factor is the Supreme Lord, who is the cause of everything. Now, probably you might be little better that too happy to know that the picture of the full picture now. So I'm having the second poll here. Are you feeling happy to know the full picture now? That how the activities actually get desired, how the Lord sanctions, and how the material nature actually execute it. Okay, so most of them saying, or all of them saying yes. Okay, Chidanandan Prabhu is saying that, can you repeat the point about why desire of millennial again? I lost for a minute. Okay, so let me repeat that. Let me end first the poll and then share the results. And you say 90%, all of those who have voted here said that, or maybe it would be better that we take the question at the end. I couldn't grasp. Okay, there are 2-3 things. Let me go back here. So, as the living entity, what is the, we have a free choice, free will, what is called as a free will. So we always have a choice, or we always have to desire something, because desire is the intrinsic properties of the soul. So we cannot become desireless. So there will be always a desire. So when we desire it based on our credit or the karma that we have, for example, now I have a credit card, and then I go and I say, okay, I want to purchase big things. He said that, well, wait a minute, you have a credit card, but you don't have enough credit that you can go and buy something. So even if I desire, sometimes it may not be sanctioned because of the limits of the credit that I have. So similarly, because of our previous karma, I may not have enough pious credit to get whatever I'm desiring, but I can desire. And once it's desire, if I'm suppose I desire it and I have enough credit with me, then Lord will sanction it. And when Lord sanctions it, the execute it. So we as the initiator for that, our desires must watch our credits too. Yes, but we may not know what is our credit, because it is our all our credits can be referenced from the time frame that we born and the time frame that we leave the body. But in the long picture, in the bigger picture, the time frame is actually far bigger earlier than we have taken a birth. So but yes, we may not understand all the credit. If we desire something and if we don't get it, so we can surely understand or assume that, yes, I don't have the enough credit to get even if I desire it. For example, now just give a very simple example. One student, he doesn't do study and he just desire, Lord, please make me pass this exam. Do you think it will happen? No, because he did not have enough credit. The credit here in terms of his study. So if you have not done study or the activities in the past, we cannot even desire and to get. But even if we desire it, not all the time that we are sure that we will get sanctioned, because we do not have enough credit, just like the student may not get all the things. Can the credit be increased in the same time? Yes, this question is like karma. So will I get the instant karma results, or can I get? So the answer for this question that Vinayak Prabhu had asked in the chat box is that, yes, just like sometimes when we sow the seeds, the results are like some grains that we sow in a field, the results are in a 3 or 4 months. But if you sow the mango, it will take years and years together. And so there are different types of karma, that something called as instant karma, something called as a delayed karma, something called as a shared karma. The instant karma is like that you slap someone and then he slaps on, that's instant karma. So like Kali Yuga, instant karma. The second is delayed karma. Now the delayed karma can happen in this life. It can take some days, weeks, months in this life, or it can take even the next life also. We don't know. And Mrutyunjay Prabhu, maybe you can mute the other participants. And third is the shared karma. So when we say shared karma, like is that Sri Devi Mataji, can you mute yourself? Sri Devi Mataji, can you mute yourself? So this is what happens when we open up for the question and answers or chat box. So it actually disturbs the flow. Mrutyunjay Prabhu, can you please mute others? Participant list.
Yeah, Prabhu, muting.
Okay, thank you. I did it. Okay, so there was one question that how do I know whether I have enough credit or no? If you desire it and if you don't get it, is clear that we may not have the enough credit, or we can also have the see that the time may not be matured enough to get the result. So this also matters because we should have the time to get the results at appropriate time. So I am desiring, Lord is sanctioning, and material nature is executing. For each and every action, as we discussed, there is a different endeavors, but all the one's activity is finally depend on the will of the super soul, who is situated sarvasya chaham hrudisan nivisto. He is the one who is situated everyone's heart, and who is the as a witnesser and as the sanctioner is the Paramatma there who actually sanctions. So Supreme Lord is the super cause, and under any circumstances, if under any circumstances, if person is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the super soul within the heart, is naturally not bound by any activity. That is what we discussed as a karma. Now the question may come that how many guys are now trying to influence me? We saw environment, we saw mind, we saw intelligence. Now we are actually telling some more point, that's modes of material nature, right? So initially we discussed about the mind, intelligence. Now we are talking about the modes of material nature. What should I do? The question may arise, what should I do now? It's just like that. When we want to buy a product, there are many factors that influence us: the family, the advertisement, the colleague, the friend, the bank balance, the bills to pay, etc., etc. Mrutyunjay Prabhu. So there are many factors that influence, but we have to make the decision. So we are the one, the onus is finally on us, because we decide, we are responsible. We had earlier discussed about the intelligence, we discussed about the mind. Now there is a new dimension that is actually bringing into picture is the modes of material nature. So let's understand today what is this modes of material nature. How many modes of material nature are there? Chat box quickly.
Prabhuji, I disabled it. Should I enable?
Chat box also disabled.
Yes, Chidanandan Prabhu or other devotees.
Okay, no problem. Let's have disabled one, no problem. So we understand that there are three modes of material nature. So previously we studied about the soul, we studied about the mind, we studied about the intelligence, the Pancha Mahabhuta, Bhumir Apo Anolo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Reyocha Ahankara Ityam Me Bhinna Prakriti Rashtata. We discussed that 7.4. Now the modes of material nature, the science behind how these elements interact with one another is called as the modes of nature. Just now we saw the Jivatma, Paramatma, and this nature, material nature, the modes of material nature, and that actually does the activity. The interactions between all these things is called as the modes of nature. Now there are three modes of material nature. What are those three modes of material nature? Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tamo guna. The Sattva guna in English is called as goodness, mode of goodness. The Raja guna is called as a mode of passion, and Tamo guna is called as a mode of ignorance. Now, how do people work in a different modes? What kind of result they get? We'll discuss that. For example, in ignorance, when the person is in ignorance, what will happen? Lethargic, procrastination, sleeping, and all these are the very typical characteristics of the person who is in ignorance. Passion, violence, money, karma, competition, challenge, money, 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 money. And in the mode of goodness, tranquility, serenity, happiness, satisfaction. So these are the different typical characteristics of a mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Now, if we are to ask the question, what gunas we are in, so let's maybe we can ourselves, based on this discussion now, what we are going to do in the next few slides, we can understand that which gunas we are in. We'll see that for each gunas, we'll see what is the work and the happiness that the person in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sloka number 26 from the 18th chapter. So mainly now, rest of the sessions we will be discussing from the 18th chapter. The slokas. Mukta sango anaham vadi dhrute utsaha samanvita siddha asiddhayor nirvikara karta satvika uchate. So what is that karta or the doer in a satvika? Satvika means mode of goodness. Uchate means it's called. The person or the doer who is in the mode of goodness, how do we know what is his characteristics? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18.26, the person who is in the mode of goodness, how does he do? The first thing he does, Mukta Sangha Anaham Vadi. He performs his duty without the association, without the modes of material nature. Mukta Sangha, not associating with the modes of Anaham Vadi, without the false ego, with the great determination, utsaha, enthusiasm, and siddhi or asiddhi, with a success or failure, he is not wavering. Such a person is called as karta satvika uchyate. So what is the person, characteristics of the person who is in the mode of goodness, satvika? So he is not mukta sangha, anaham vadi, he is without false ego, great determination, dhruta, then utsaha, enthusiasm, and without wavering, siddhi or siddhi, success or failure, he is not wavered. Such a karta, such a doer is called as, or the worker in the mode of goodness. So he perfectly know what is good and he sticks to it. Such a people are very attractive, right? But very difficult to find as well, very rare. Next is that what is the happiness in the mode of goodness? Very interesting topic. So see, Bhagavad Gita, so beautiful. You will actually will see that. Yat tad agre visham iva pariname amrutopanam pamam tad sukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. So he says, yat tad agre visham. That happiness in the beginning is like a visham. Visham means poison. But parinam is amruto. But at the end, the result is like amruta, nectar. And what is that? Tat sukam satvikam proktam. That happiness which awakens ones to the self-realization, that happiness is called the happiness in the mode of goodness. Now, what are those activities or the happiness which actually is initially poison, but at the end is amruta? Probably your chat box should be there and see that how can be beginning is poison, but at the end is amruta. Yet tad agre. Agre means beginning. Visham. Visham means poison. So what is that poison is talking like? For example,
Should I enable Prabhu chat box?
no, Prabhu. I think it gets chaotic little bit, and it allows the flow. So what is the poison that Krishna is talking about? That if you take any mode of goodness activity, for example, early morning waking up, very difficult. It's like a visham. Krishna, 5 more minutes, let me sleep. Or if that alarm is there, let it snooze for some more time, and then we can actually sleep. And by the time we realize that 1 or 2 hours passed. So this initially it's very difficult. But once we get, actually we see that over the period of time, we understand that it's so nice to get up early in the morning. It actually takes us in the mode of goodness. This is very good for health. Everything from all the perspective, getting up early. It is said that early to bed, early to rise makes man wealthy and wise. So, but initially it's very like poison. And doing any austerities is not easy. It's like the poison, but the result is amrutam tad sukam satvikam proktam. So beautiful, Krishna is telling us. So what we discussed so far, that are we in control? Something is actually, though I have all my characteristics, my competencies, my skills are everything intact, but I seems to be having a different result at particular time, and just like Arjuna had a different. So that means something actually pulling my strings. So who is that who is pulling my string? Then we saw that prakriti kriya manane. So there's the material nature. So then if material nature are doing the activity, why I am responsible? Then we discuss the triangular portion, that the soul actually desires, the Lord sanctions, and the material nature actually executes that. Then we saw that earlier we are talking about the mind, intelligence. Now we are talking about the material nature. The modes are also influencing our results. So what are the three modes of material nature we discussed? So we start sattva guna. In the sattva guna, we discussed two shlokas. One shloka is that person who is in the mode of goodness, the karta satvika uchyate, the doer or the worker in the mode of goodness, and the happiness which is for example getting up early. So the happiness in the beginning is so difficult, but at the end is actually amrutam. So this is the characteristics of the happiness. Any happiness that we take initially, if it is amruta, then there is something wrong. We'll come to that shloka, but initially it is a poison. Just like a student, he has to study for the whole year, but the result is amruta, right? So similarly, any good activities, it has always initially challenges, and that is what Krishna is talking about. Now let's move to the next shloka about the passion. What is the characteristics of the doer who is in the in the mode of passion, rajaguna? Krishna says very beautifully, Ragi karma phala prepsor lubdo himsatmaka asuchihi harsha shokanvita karta rajasaha parikirtitaha. Ragi, not ragi mudde, but ragi. Ragi means attachment. The worker who is attached for what? Karma phala, work and the fruits of our work. And then prepsur lubdho, he wanted to enjoy those fruits. Lubdho is very greedy. Himsatmaka, always envious. Shuchi means pure. Ashuchi means impure. And harsha shokan mitaha, he is moved by the joy and sorrow. Such a person is called in the mode of passion. So if we have the question to be asked all of us, that do we fit in this? Probably the answer would be yes. Attached to the works, phala, karma and phala, too much of attachment to the work and phala. And so when we are attached to the work and the phala, obviously we develop a desire to enjoy those fruits. We become greedy, we become envious. If somebody comes in between me and my enjoyment, he become envious. And because we are envious, we also become ashuchi, impure. And because of that, then sometimes we are happy when we are actually enjoying the result which we want and we are getting, we are happy. And the next minute when the results are not as per what we want, shoka. And such a karta is called as a rajasika karta. So the typical characteristics of the person who is in the mode of passion is that what will I get before we start the activity? Kya milega mujhe? What is the difference between the satvika karta and the rajasik karta? Satvik karta is not, he's a siddhi, he's a very balanced, he's a sama. Whereas the karta in a rajasik, he's getting disturbed or moved by the harsha and shoka. Here is attached to the work, there he is not attached to the work. And of course he is a greedy, always envious. So people in the passions are moved by joy and sorrow, whereas the sattvika people are very peaceful. So it's like pendulum. If somebody is like, one moment they are happy and the next moment they are angry and something like that, we can clearly say that which mode of guna is actually acting there. And the next is that let's see how the happiness in the mode of Rajoguna, shloka number 38 from Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. Very, very nicely Krishna is telling, Vishayandri Sanyoga Yat Tad Agre Amrutopamam Pariname Visham Eva Tad Sukam Rajasam Smrutam. So here Krishna is saying that Vishendriya Sanyoga, the happiness which is coming from the contact of the senses. So what is the characteristics of this happiness? The happiness is tad agre amrutam. In the beginning, it's like amruta, that happiness. But parinama visham. But the result is like a poison. And at the end, it is said to be the nature of the passion. That happiness which is derived from the contact of the senses with their objects. So the happiness is coming from what? The sense objects. Initially, it appears to be amruta, and at the end, actually, it is a visha, poison. So we can clearly clearly see the difference between the happiness in the mode of goodness and the happiness in the mode of passion. The happiness in the mode of goodness in the tada agre visham. The happiness in the mode of goodness initially is very difficult, but at the end is very good. But the passion is that initially is very good. For example, you go outside and eat something outside food and anything bad habit that you initially so things, smoking, alcohols, and so many things, and taking food outside. Of course, the thanks to Corona that we might not be taking, but if this Corona would not be there, going outside and having all those food. So initially it's very good. Taste go next day, then we have the stomach upset and so many things. So that means this happiness is from the mode of passion, instant results, not thinking about anything in the future. Let's see what happens the person who is in the mode of ignorance. Today I'm feeling so nice that this sloka is so practical and Bhagavad Gita. Can we imagine such a simple and but such a profound and deep knowledge Lord Krishna has given 5,000 years ago? Can we say, in fact, in the material world today, we are told that you should go and get it. Do it, just do it. If you get the happiness instantly, you are happiest person. Krishna is saying that if you get the happiness immediately, that happiness is called as the happiness in the, because initially is very good, but at the end the result is not good. Let's see what about the person who is in a tamasik. Ayukta prakruta stabda shato naskrutika alasa. Alasa means laziness. Vishadi dirga sutricha karta tamasa uchate. What is the characteristics of the person who is in a tamasik? He is always engaged in the work against the injunction of the scripture. Ayuktaha praktaha stabdaha. That means he is doing the activity against the scripture, stealing, committing, doing all those things. And what is his? He is a materialistic, obstinate, cheating properties, the cheating qualities, and expert in insulting others, who is a lazy, alasi, and always morose. And procrastinating, I will do tomorrow, day after tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And such a person is called in the mode of ignorance. Probably will be some of these characters will be very familiar for all of us. So that is the characteristics of the tamasik here. I will do tomorrow, no problem. What is there? Lazy, morose. Oh, the life is very tough. Cheating, obstinate, expert in insulting others. This is the person who is in the character in the tamasik. What about the happiness in the tamasik? यद आग्रे चानुबंधे च सुखम मोहनम आत्मनः निद्रा आलस्य प्रमोदार्थम तत्तामसम उदाहृतम. That happiness which is blind to the self realization. The happiness in the mode of goodness actually help us for the self realization. The happiness in the mode of tamasa or the ignorance which is blind to the self realization, which is a delusion from the beginning to end, which arise from the nidra, that is the sleep, alasya, laziness, pramadotam, illusion. That kind of happiness is called is the happiness in the nature of ignorance. At least in the passion there is some happiness in the beginning. Here there is no happiness from the beginning to end. It is all delusion. Mohanam atmana. Mohana means delusion. So there is from the beginning to end, it is only illusion. There is nothing. For example, sleeping, laziness, and these activities. What to talk about the happiness? Even the food also in the different modes of material nature. So we'll try to send some kind of drama on these different modes, and then we can see that you will able to have more idea about this drama. We'll try to get from other devotees and share with you. So we can clearly see that the laziness, nidra, alasya pramoto, from this nidra and alasya pramoto, the happiness from the beginning to end is there is no happiness, no amruta, always is a delusion. Which mode do you think we are in? The question, right? So there is no pure goodness, passion, or ignorance in the material nature, that you cannot always, we cannot say, oh, I'm always in the goodness or passion or ignorance. It's a combination. Something is prominent at some point of time, and sometimes based on the different combinations. But of course, one particular personality may be prominently higher one gunas in that. But at given a point of time, sometimes even if person is in the mode of passion, also could have goodness and ignorance. And the person in ignorance could also have passion, but in predominantly he may have ignorance person or passion or goodness. So example, just like we have the RGB, red, green, and blue. So there is a color palette, and then we can make infinite numbers of the combination. So similarly, just like the 3 strands of the ropes, similarly with these combinations of this red, green, and blue or RYB, whatever you can call as that, we can mix these different colors and we can have infinite, unlimited personalities by these combinations. And just like we saw here rope stranded, just like a rope, this material modes also binds us. But sometimes or all the times, some people or we think that we are always actually free, but we are neither. We are not free, rather we are bound by the 3 modes of material nature. We are helplessly controlled by the modes of material nature, and only a person who is a God consciousness, he can be free. But if we are doing the activities according to our gunas and karma, then we have very limited freedom because we are acting under the modes of material nature. So that brings to the conclusion, or rather the practical tip of the day. So because we are seeing that we don't want to overshoot at least more than 1 hour, so that the attention span is there and we are able to do things, able to grasp the things. So we are again, as usual, dividing this session into 2. Next session we will see that how we deal with the people, because just like we are also in the modes of material nature, there are the people also in the modes of material nature, how to deal with them. Then what is the best guna to be in the, what is the most which is the best to, which guna to be the best to be in, and how to get rid of all these gunas, we'll discuss in the next week. So just to conclude today, what we discussed, that we saw that we are controlled by the modes of material nature, just like the strings, sattva-guna, rajaguna, tamoguna, 3 modes are there. We saw each gunas, the characters is in the 2 ways, the kartas and happiness. Karta and happiness for sattva-guna, rajaguna, and tamoguna. So to the practical tip for all of us here is that Krishna is the cause of all causes. The ability that we have and the activities are being done by the modes of material nature. So we should be very, very grateful not to be puffed up by the borrowed plumes. Without Krishna's sanction, it is said that not even the blade of the grass actually moves without the sanction of the Lord. And the material civilization without the blessing of the Lord is like a child's play only. All activities, therefore, must be dovetailed in the Krishna consciousness, serving to the Lord, serving to the God, pleasing to God. Without the blessings, all advancement of the human civilization is like a decoration on a dead body. That is what the Acharya says, that whatever, no matter however, or how much development or the technology that we go, but there is no blessings of the Supreme Lord. It's like the decoration of a dead body. So nicely, so deep and sound. It may appear to be very sarcastic, but that is the reality of the today's things. So that brings to the our shlokas. Krute dhyato Vishnum Tretayat ejato makam dwapare paricharyayam kalau tad Hari Kirtanand. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than chanting the holy name of the Lord in this age of Kali. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, iti shodashaka namanam Kali kalmasha nashanam. Natara paratara upaya sarva vedeshu drushya. These 16 names composed of the 32 syllables are the only means to counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. So we will chant 1 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are in a Kartik month, very, very auspicious. To just remind you that we will sing the Damodar Ashtakam in a few minutes. Before that, we will do 1 round of or a few mantras of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then we will have Damodar Ashtakam. Then we will get the opportunity. If you are there at home, you can screen on and offer the lamb to the Lord, or just sing along with us here live kirtan for today, the Damodar Ashtakam. And then we'll see the question answers, if there are any question answer. So before that, so let's see that how many of us are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, our regular question here. Now I'm seeing good progress here, that only couple of participants said that they couldn't get time, but most of them are either chanting one round or 2 rounds or chanted few days, but not daily. It's good to see here. So almost 96% of the people are actually in these three categories. Very happy to see that, except couple of participants. So let's chant one round, not one round, but few mantras of Hare Krishna chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So holy name of the Lord is the only way in this age of Kali, which actually takes us beyond the three modes of material nature. And because when we serve Lord, and serving the Lord or praying to the Lord is the best way of in this age of Kali for the self-realization. And Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna's holy name are not different. Abhinnatva nama namino. Lord and Lord Krishna's name are not different. In material world, in this bhautika sansara, if I say water, water, I am thirsty now. If I say water, water, my thirst will not be quenched. But in the spiritual world, because in the material world, the name water and the actual object water are different. But in the spiritual world, the name Krishna and the Supreme Lord Krishna are Bhinnatva, they are not different. That is why when we chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, we are actually associating with Krishna. And when we are associating with Krishna, we should be calling to Lord's holy name from bottom of our heart. But we realize that our heart is full of all these anarthas, kama, krodha, so many anarthas. It doesn't allow us to chant the name of the Lord in a very pure way or in a very attentive way. We chant the name of the Lord, but our mind is actually planning something else. Might we think that when this Prabhu will stop, enough is enough, both hoga. But let's chant the holy name of the Lord from bottom of our heart. Wherever you are, let's try to sit straight in erect position and in a very prayerful mode on the auspicious month of this Kartika month. Let's chant the holy name of the Lord Sri Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shloka for homework, very famous shloka in India. Chapter 2, shloka number 47. Most of the people know the first part of the shloka, but the second part is actually ignored, which is very important again. Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturбhu ma te sango swakarmane. Krishna says that we have right karmanyavadikaraste. We have adhikar for karma, doing the perform our prescribed duties. But ma phaleshu kadachana, we are not entitled to the fruits of our activities. Never consider yourself of the cause of the result. Just we discussed that of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your activities. So akarman, you cannot be saying that I will not do any activities. So that is also not recommended in this shloka. This is the famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita for the homework. So some quick glories of this Damodar month. Or the Adhik Mas was called as a Purushottam month, but this month is called as Damo Udara. Damodara, when the Lord Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda at the belly by rope, it's called as a Damodar month. It is said that there are so many glories of this wonderful month, and many pastimes happens, and these pastimes of Lord Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna was happened during this month and during the Diwali time. So maybe on one of the Sundays we'll discuss these pastimes, the Leela of Lord Sri Krishna bound by Mother Yashoda. So it is said that just like in Satya Yuga, it is the best of the yugas. The Vedas are the best of the scripture. Ganga, Mother Ganga is the best of the river. Similarly, the Kartik is the best of all months, the most dear to Krishna. During this month of Damodar, the rewards are the result that we get when it Neha Vikramanasyasto Pratyavayano Vidyati Solpam Apesha Dharmasya Trayati Mahato Bhayat. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, second chapter, 40th shloka. He said that whatever we do little on this, on a devotional service, on a normal day, is actually takes us to the greater level. But on special instances, when we do that, the results are actually multifold times. It is said just like when Krishna, we discussed the glories of the Tulsi Maharani last time after the Ramayana. We discussed about how glorious is Tulsi. So similarly, it is said that Krishna always like Tulsi leaves. So it is always good to offer Tulsi to Krishna. But in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatan Goswami says that the result one obtains by giving 10,000 cows in charity can be obtained by offering one Tulsi leaf to the Supreme Lord during the month of Kartika. Now, first of all, there is no cows. And even if there's a cows, they are the Jersey cows, not our Desi cows. And how do we differentiate the Desi cows? Just a quick tangent here. The cows that which had the hump, and it is very important because the cows that which had the hump, it has a Surya Nadi, and because of the sun rays, that it actually has a lot of medicinal properties. But we just don't take the Go Mata as a medicinal properties, but is our mother. In our scripture, it is said that the Go is actually mother. So when one gives a 10,000 cows in a charity, can be equated to offering one Tulsi leaf to Lord Sri Krishna in this month. Can you imagine the glories of this particular Kartika month? It is said that when we offer a lamp, and it is recommended that every day Deepdan we should do during the month of this Kartika, one burns away the collections of the sins, whatever the sinful activities that we have done, as big as Mount Meru, can be vanquished by just offering one lamb to Lord Damodar in this month. And there is no doubt about that. This is the glories of different Puranas. It is said that even a person addicted to the all sinful activities and averse, is not interested to doing any pious activities, somehow or the other, by mercy of devotees, he offer a lamp during this Kartika month, he gets purified, and of this there is no doubt. It is said that in Puranas it is said that please hear the glories of the offering a lamb during the month of this Kartika to please Lord Keshava. And it is said, O King of Brahmanas, a person who offer lamb to the Lord will never take birth again in this material world. So that is the glories of the Kartika Mass. Can you imagine that? The sinful activities as big as Mandara mountain can be removed just by offering a lamb to Lord Damodar. How fortunate we are. So fortunate. So now we are going to sing this Damodar Ashtakam. The Ashtaka is 8 stanzas. Samruddhi, ready? Okay, so I don't know whether you are visible or not. So my daughter here, she will be actually singing. And Gauranga, you want to come here? Okay, you are okay there? Okay. So she will be singing the Damodar Ashtakam, which is on the screen here. And it's a beautiful stanzas. When you see that, it's the author actually describe this incidents of Mother Yashoda is running behind Damodar, and are you able to see Samruddhi? Okay, you're able to see. Okay. So it is describing the pastimes of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna, and Krishna how is actually crying. Rudanta Muhur Netram, he's crying, and Mother Yashoda is behind him, and when he's actually trying to rub that with that kajal, this whole face is become anointed with that kajal, and that is where actually beautifully mentioned here. Let us start this. Let's have a meditation on this Lord Damodara. Specifically in this particular month, and this whole Ashtakam is actually focusing, meditating on Lord Damodar. Mamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Viyolokanam Param Drishtam Atyantra Dodritya Gopram Yashoda Viyolokaladvamanam Param Drishtam Atyantam Dodritya Gopram Rudanta Muhur Netram Yugmam Rujantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram श्वास कंपत्रिरेकंककंकं स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिवदम्
इति दृक्षालीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषनिमज्जन्तमभ्यापयन्तम्
इति द्वक्षलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम्
तदीयेषि तन्मेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वा पुनः प्रेम तत्संसदावृत्तिवन्दे
तदीयेषि तन्मेषु भक्तजितत्वम् पुनः प्रेम तत्संसदावृत्तिवन्दे
वरं देवा मोक्षं वा मोक्षं वदित्वा रचन्यं गृहेऽहं परिषदप्रिया
देवमोक्षं
वदित्वा रचन्यं गृहेऽहं परिषदप्रिया इदं ते
देव पूर्णार्थ इदं ते मुखं भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलये वृतं कुन्तलये स्निग्धरक्तस्य गोप्याम् मोहचुम्बितां बिम्बरक्तादरन्ये मनश्चाभिरास्तामलं लक्षलाभे नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालातिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्टातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि क्षमामग्निर्दर्शिदृश्यम् कुबेरात्मजो वाक्तामूर्तैव यद्वा त्वया पोषिता भक्ति बाजो कृतैषा तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वकामे प्रयशम् न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे स्थिदामोदरे Namaste Sudamne Spuradiptidamne Tvadiyodarayata Vishwashatamne
Namo Radhikaya Gadiyaye Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya
Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Turam
Namami Shwaram Sachidanandrupam Rasakundalam Gokule Rajamanam
Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule
Krishna Atyanta Nudratya Gopyam
Yashoda Biyolu Kaladvamanam Param Drushtam Atyantanto Drutya Goptam
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 1 minute. So I request all the participants here, please come up with your lamp and offer to Lord Damodar. Maybe Prabhu, you can on their videos so that they can offer the lamp to Lord Damodar. So we'll also do parallelly background. We'll have Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan. So those who would like to put their video on and offer the lamp, they can do that. You can start different. Very fast. You can do different.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama Hare, Hare Krishna,
Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha
Hare Radha, Damodar Radha, Jaya Radha, Damodar Radha, Radhe, Hari Gauri,
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Gandharvika Giridhari Gauri Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, just before we end, at every day now, starting from yesterday, we would be doing 8:15 p.m. So maybe another 45 minutes from now, we will have the glories about Krishna's characteristics for 10 minutes. Then we'll be doing the Vraja Mandal Parikrama. That is a virtual Vraja Mandal Parikrama. That means every day we'll have the different Dhama of Vraja. So there is 84 course Parikrama of Raja Mandal Parikrama. So small kids from our congregation, they will be taking one topic and talking about that for 10 minutes. And after that, we will have Damodar Ashtakam. So this is the whole of 8:15 p.m. to 8:45 or 9 p.m. every day. The link, I request Mrutyunjay Prabhu can post here so that you all can join. And you will get the opportunities to hear Damodar Ashtakam every single evening until the November 30th for all the days during the Diwali day and all the days. And what is the more auspicious that one can expect than opportunity to engage in the service of Lord Damodar Krishna. So with that, any questions? Because I think we are expecting some question. Vikas Prabhu, Renu Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any questions, any doubts? Because there are many questions during the topics, but I hope everybody is okay. Or any questions? Or or they can ask in a chat box. I see that Niharika Mataji saying that it become a Sunday ritual that our home, my 2.5-year-old toddlers come to me and tell, Mummy, Chotu Krishna dikha do. Oh, so nice, Niharika Mataji. And that is the wonderful that if we can train the dependents, our childs, our kids, so that they can practice Krishna consciousness at the early age, so that it actually they become fixed in the service of Krishna. And what is the best that we can do, gift that we can give to all of them? Any questions? Hari Govind Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Roma Mataji, hope you are doing good. By the mercy of Krishna, we hope that everything will be wonderful. So please continue to hear Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Krishna pastimes. And next few months, it will be very wonderful opportunity to hear about Lord Krishna, especially the canto 10, the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And every day night before you go to bed and whenever you get opportunity, you continue to hear. Very, very auspicious this month itself and the time that you are wonderful to hear the pastimes of Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, any questions on the desire, sanctioner, and Shobha Mataji, thank you that your daughter's voice is so sweet by the mercy of Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And yeah, thank you for giving your blessings, because we need the blessings for all of us. Thanks for giving your blessings so that we continue to serve Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and spread the message of Srila Prabhupada's teaching. Thank you so much, Mataji. Please continue to give your blessings to all of us. Sujata Mataji, any questions, comment? Shobha Mataji, Hari Govind, Sanjay Prabhu, Jyoti Mataji, Deepika Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, Ramakrishnan Prabhu, Rahul Prabhu, Anuradha Mataji, any?
Prabhuji, maybe
Hare Krishna
probably
Mataji.
I'll ask next week because you said like we have another session of this. So let us. I think I have a question, but I just want to hold it on for the next week. So let us complete this session, and then if that question still persists, then I'll ask next week.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Okay.
So Jyoti Mataji is saying that, can you please conduct the Bhagavad Gita session for kids also, do that they learn the truth of life at early age. Actually, it is wonderful that they should learn at the early age, because when the weight is actually, the stick is weight, it is easy to give the shape. But when it becomes dry, it becomes very difficult. And at what our age? At as early as when they are in the womb of mother's womb. So it is very good that for all of us that we give opportunity from early age. Prahlad Maharaj was saying that he was saying that acharate pragya yajna, from as early as kaumaram acharate pragya, as early as kaumaram, from age of 5 years we should give. But we are because of the time constraint and all those things, we are finding out some ways, Mataji, not sure how it will manifest, but hope that it will get manifest quickly, and then we can have some opportunities. We are also trying to find that if we can do a centralized way in our Bhakti center, some or the other ways for the kids, it would be good. So Anuradha Mataji, thank you Mataji for expressing your feeling that 1 hour. Yes, wonderful, because the Lord is auspicious, His holy name is very auspicious, and when we take His holy name, what else we want than this? So it is a great opportunity for all of us to engage in the service of the name of the Lord, or the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, so I request all of you to continue to observe this Damodar month. Very, very auspicious day. If you cannot do anything, just offer one tulsi leaf to Lord Krishna, Damodar. Or if you, and next, if you can get opportunity to offer the lamp every day, it is wonderful. You can join our sessions every day from 8:15. Mrutyunjay Prabhu, can you please have, let me see if I can post the link for our today's program.
Yeah, Prabhu, we can share on WhatsApp.
You can share in this group WhatsApp also, and here also if possible.
It's a long message, so I thought to share there. WhatsApp.
No problem. Let me see if I can find it.
I have that October 31st to November 29th, correct?
Yeah, maybe you can post in the chat box so that devotees can quickly take that, and
Okay, hold on.
that description of that things I'm still finding here. Okay, couldn't find. Okay, you post it, Prabhu, before we end the thing, so that they will able to capture this link and they will join at 8 p.m. So Vraja Mandal Parikrama, one characteristics of Krishna, divine characteristics of qualities of Krishna. Every single day we will discuss for 10 minutes Vraja Mandal Parikrama, pastimes of a particular Dhama from Vraja Vrindavan, because during the Kartik Mass, the devotees do visit to visit Vrindavan, but because of this Corona, we will not able to visit. But here is opportunity virtually that we hear the glories of that particular Dhama, and then we will actually hear that. And then at the end, we'll have Damodar Ashtakam, an opportunity to hear the Damodar Ashtakam and offer a lamb to Lord Damodar. Can I offer ghee lamp or other lamp to Damodar? Sanjay Prabhu, it is good that we offer the ghee lamp. It will be good that we offer the ghee lamp, but I'm not sure in Mauritius whether you get the ghee or no. But see, if you can do, if nothing, then it's okay. Other lamp also you can offer. And one question was there during the session, whether how do I know whether I have enough credit or no? Because if you don't get the result, so we can safely assume that we don't have the enough credit. Yeah, here we go. We have the link for our program 8:15 p.m. You can give the whole program. We just give 8:35 p.m. But you can give the 8:15 p.m. onwards. The link is the same. Okay. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Damodar Mant ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we'll stop here. We'll meet next week, continue the part that on the different gunas, and maybe on the 15th of November, that is the next day of Diwali, we will discuss about this Damodar Lila or Govardhan Lila, because both happens on the during the Diwali day. So we'll see which one we'll find out. Otherwise, we'll discuss back to back 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.